So from one's core of heart, doing this supplication prayer over and over, it is important. So right now, somehow that we have all this obscuration and afflicted mind that which we could not purify. So the afflicted minds are, just every time it can be just arising. So when any time all this afflicted mind arises, then it is important to apply the antidote, and besides that, one try to understand that the whole phenomena, whatever that is just appearing and existing, and if we just examine properly, then there is no anything which is concrete or substantial or solid. It is everything dissolved into just emptiness. So try to abide one's mind in that state of mind of realizing the emptiness, and that way it can just get rid of the afflicted minds. So in this way, just anytime all this afflicted mind or afflicted thoughts are arising, then one's root guru in form of Guru Pamasambhava, who is the condensed nature of all the past, present, future Buddha, supplicating to that, and then abiding one's mind in that state of supplication, that will also cease all the afflictions. So even we have conversations or just talk with people, then not just talking randomly. It is always good for you to think and then just examining your mind and then express the words. Otherwise, when we have all this kind of conversation or talks, then of course there is influence by hatred or attachment or ignorance, that which is not separate from the conversations. So all these afflicted minds or the negative emotions that however we try to work out to get rid of it through our just training of body, speech, mind. So at that moment, which means when you are afflicted or deluded, then just supplicating to Guru and abide one's mind in the non-duality of the just Guru's nature, or just doing meditation practice on emptiness, and then try to just stay in that meditation, and like that, if we apply that which helps to get rid of all these afflicted minds. So in general, of course, we are always, arising these afflicted minds, or the passion, or negative emotions. But still, based on that, sometimes still we give rise to, specific negative emotions, which is very strong. Sometimes, so much strong desires, that which is, arising, or sometimes become so much angry for, certain people or certain reason or certain object, and, have so much, anger, or sometimes even just seeing, somebody's wealth or material belonging or anything where you also just have that kind of desire to have, for oneself. And like that, when the afflicted minds are, arising in a very strong way, then at that moment, one have to just apply that antidote. One should not let it just, follow that afflicted mind. Even that there are all these kind of spirits or local gods or just demons or ghosts or different kind of negative forces that which also through certain way that which affects to experience certain kind of sickness, problem, obstacle, difficulties, then at that time one should not necessarily have to be very angry or giving rise to so much hatred, but one should generate more compassion and loving kindness and try to abide in the great compassion. And the more we generate compassion and the loving kindness or bodhicitta, then that much is beneficial that anyone or anybody wants to just harm to you, that it is not possible that it can be just harmed or affected to you. So anything, whether that just kind of external object or male or female or gods or just demons, whatever, all those kind of harms mostly just come from one's own mind display. So the mind itself is just emptiness. Empty, which doesn't mean that kind of complete voidness, but that emptiness which is without any elaboration, that beyond any extremes. And if one thinks it is just a complete voidness, then it may just again fall into wrong way. So that complete voidness is like the barren woman's child, or like a sky flowers that which is not really existing. So the real meaning of emptiness is that which goes beyond the four or the all extremes, such as the extremes, the existence or non-existence or both or neither, that which goes beyond all the extremes. That is the real emptiness. So to meditate on that, if your mind just not been contrived and then just relax and abide in that way, that is just very near to that reality.
So Tony to the Chemode, Rangi Tepa, Mugu, Tanose, Lama Den, and Lama getting Chiton Rimbagindo, Tandima Trine, then Tony Della Pane, and Lame Motor, they Tony on top, they didn't have it over.
So mainly that one just give rise to all this inclination and devotion, faith, and then just meeting the Lama and then receiving this teaching, instruction, and getting through practice. According to that, then just when one have the actual experience of the emptiness, where that Lama also introduced to you and the true nature of mind as emptiness. That is the just actual emptiness.
Wrong of Shibati, wrong to Tebadon, Lami to the Nigere Maduye, to it taps the Kayamaris.
The perfected emptiness, that which one could visualize, the emptiness which without any elaboration, that which one could visualize, one could realize, is through the just blessing of the Lama and then the one's pure devotion.
But
anyhow, if you just try to abide in that uncontrived nature of mind, then that just will go through that path. And in this way, whatever sorts of worldly activity, whether it is good or bad, not to just get too involved or attached to it, try to just reduce and let it just go.
Don't go to go down on Charles.
So in Tibet there is just a saying that whether a stone hit on your head, also that breaks your just head, and even just a kind of golden statue hit on your head, also it's same thing, you break your head. So that the quality of those two objects are kind of big difference, but that with breaking your head is same. So through the afflicted mind, how we just bind ourselves in the samsara, still we are wandering in samsara. And then we try to just do the Dharma practice, and then we just give rise to all this kind of dualistic thought and mind, and in that way even we wander to samsara, still we are wandering. Because that what we really need to release is that the just grasping over the just the duality or the duality existence. So that is actually bind up by the self-attachment. So that is why we have to just try and work very hard how we can just try to abandon the self-attachment and then the dualistic concepts. And actually, that everything is condensed into that self-attachment. So actually, even if we could examine the self, where we have so much attachment, then it is not really existing. Just saying I, something very, very precious. And whatever that worldly, just conversations, whatever it may happen, then one thinks, this is just saying something on me or about me. And that somehow it naturally just gives rise to many different afflictions. It is all because of thinking, I. Then also we think, oh, I did very good practice. In that way, just get stuck there. How much we could do something better, then we think, oh, I'm just getting better and I have all these kinds of realizations. So that which, however, anywhere it is just binds up there. And any moment when we liberate from the self-attachment, then there is no any difficulty. So that I, if you just examine, it is not really there. Is your body is the I? And tomorrow when your body is just burned into the channel ground, and then if your eye is burned with it, and but that eye has not died yet, it is still there. And when you just stop your breathing, then does your eye die? Still, it is just there, the eye. And then even you can think of your mind. And that I is something where you feel, just kind of something very concrete, solid, experiencing, suffering, pain, difficulty, but that mind does not really have any kind of substantial. And if we don't have this form or the body and the mind itself in its nature as, great emptiness, then there is nothing where we could just grasp. And in reality, that there is not really existing what is called I. Even though it is not there, still we just cling over it and then create all these kind of dualistic concepts. So you all slowly examine about your I, and you can just know. And if you have anything like which is called I, something very solid, concrete, you can bring to him. Wherever you try to search it out, you cannot really find. It's only that you are feeling that it is existing somewhere. So that what it is called the grasping or clinging. So in this way, that the great emptiness is, something to realize, not that complete, voidness. So in general, that the emptiness is always just there. So where you don't give rise to these thoughts and try to relax yourself, in its nature. And thinking that, like emptiness, which is kind of, voidness, and don't meditate on that, it also just have some danger. And the emptiness that is possible, just that you can reborn in heaven or even also like animals. Like this, the God realm where there is no concepts and feeling, that kind of just God is also just because of the emptiness. But if you just abide, relax, without giving rise to any thought, so that there is no any fault, that it has some benefit. And in that way, when you abide, then your body, speech, mind, everything just kind of get relaxed, and one also feel a kind of joy. And then in this way, in the future, just really hoping that you all could have the recognition of the true nature. To recognize the true nature of mind has to go through lots of hardship practice. It's not like not easy. And among them, the most important is that the Guru Yoga. So that the blessing of the Lama, that which received to yourself and through your devotion and faith, and then one could recognize the absolute true nature of mind, the emptiness. And also that one not necessarily have to lose your courage, that thinking, oh, maybe I could not recognize my true nature of mind. In that way, don't have to worry. And all the past, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they all, just recognizing their true nature of mind, then they attain, enlightenment, everyone. So that is just within oneself, that is there in ourself. Not necessarily it has to come from anywhere. As a condition that where we develop devotion, inclination and pure perception, and that how we can work on afflicted mind, that which naturally sees away. And the example of Buddha's Dharma teaching is like a just banner on the top of the roof. And then among them the Dzogchen's example is that the top of the banner itself. It is just it is given the example as the top of the banner itself. It is because through the Dzogchen practice one could have the ultimate realization. And even it is said that even all the sutra and all this teaching, but still if you don't have the recognition of the true nature, that still one cannot really get actual benefit. So that is why to just actualize with the self-arising true nature is just very important. So in this way, try to just work hard and carry through this practice and just abide in the emptiness without contriving your mind. Don't let it go according to the afflicted minds. So it is not like that we could cut through like a sword, cut everything, but we have to just train and just continue with all this practice. And even that the afflicted mind arising and then applying the antidote and just working together in that way, we have to go. So if you can just examine your mind, the first moment you enter into the Dharma and then till now, how much you are getting better, and in that way just examining yourself and then training that way just one can get better. Yeah, no more just teaching, and then Tsalung and then the Dzogchen students just have this teaching today, and Ungando can leave for your practice.
Okay.